why your 2026 New Year resolutions will fail unless you change this one thing. So everyone's talking about their 2026 New Year resolutions and goals, but this is the thing that no one tells you. None of those resolutions and goals matter if you don't change who you are. If your self-concept stays the same, you're never going to achieve those resolutions. You'll do them for a while and then you'll fail. The reason is because you can only manifest from who you believe you are, not who you actually wish you were. Before 2026 arrives, I need you to stop doing a few subtle things that's telling your subconscious mind that I'm not worthy and I have a poor self-concept. By the end of the video, you're going to know how to rebuild your self-concept so that throughout 2026 you can achieve all your resolutions and all of your goals, so stay tuned. For anyone who's new here, my name's Rita and my channel is here to help you achieve love, success and abundance from within. So if you like that type of content, hit the subscribe button and also drop a like on this video because it helps the channel out. Also, just so you know, check out the description box where you'll find a link to a free resource and also my course. Both of those things help you to become the best version of you. So check it out. So as we all know, 2026 is right around the corner and everyone's coming up with all these resolutions and all these goals. You're making your vision boards and you're using all these other manifestation techniques. But as I said to you, the simple fact is, if you don't change who you are inside, you will never achieve those goals. So the fact is, 2026 will look exactly, if not worse, than 2025. If you don't sort your self-concept out, there'll be no change for you moving forward. So listen, when it comes to self-concept, as I've told you, self-concept is really about what you believe about yourself. Not what anyone else believes about you, but what do you believe about yourself? How do you see yourself? And what do you think you're worthy of? And the simple fact is, when we talk about manifestation, that's the one thing that a lot of people forget to tell you. You will never ever manifest above your self-concept. You will never manifest more than what you think you're actually worthy of. Your self-concept is your default setting, if you like. It's that baseline where, as I said, you can't go over that unless you bring your self-concept up. You're always going to manifest below that or at that level. Right now, your life is a mirror of your self-image and your self-concept. And your subconscious mind is so obedient to you. It will never question you and it will never argue with you. And if you've got that low self-concept, it's going to buy into that and it actually won't let you go above that. If you try to move above that, you'll find out that sooner or later, your thoughts, your patterns and your behaviours start pulling you back to that level because it feels familiar. And this is why your subconscious mind will self-sabotage anything that's out of that box in terms of your self-concept and how you feel about yourself. And that's why you find a lot of people, they start the year with the best will and the best intentions. They've got all these wonderful ideas, all these manifestations that they want to achieve. Come February, if they even get that far, they're back to exactly where they were. So if you're thinking to yourself, that's got me thinking, what does my self-concept look like? What self-image do I have of myself? I'm going to be telling you about 4 sneaky, subtle behaviours that if you're doing these, it probably means that you've got a relatively low self-concept and you need to work on building that up. But don't worry, because once I tell you these behaviours, I'm going to be telling you what you can do to overcome a low self-image and move forward. So the first thing that you're doing that shows you that you need to work on your self-concept is over-apologising. Do you ever realise that you do that sometime? You're so worried about not upsetting anyone. You're so worried about wanting to be liked and wanting to be accepted by everyone that you're over-apologising for things that even benefit you. So if someone's asking you to do something and it's to your detriment, you don't want to do it, but you feel bad for not doing it and you're over-apologising for that. You're always making out that you're the actual issue and you're the problem. That's one thing that you need to stop. You need to stop that as you move into 2026 and beyond. Stop over apologizing. Own it. You need to own what you feel. Realize that your emotions and your feelings are just as valid as the other person. And you got to start small. Start small by setting some boundaries and not doing things that you actually don't want to do without apologizing. So stop over apologizing. Every time you do that, you're sending a signal to your nervous system. You're sending a signal to the universe to say, everyone else is better than me. You shouldn't feel bad for looking after your own needs. The second behavior that gives you that clue that you need to work on your self-concept is accepting crumbs. You know, when you're accepting crumbs and you're accepting just bare minimum, again, you're giving that message not only to your own subconscious mind, but to the universe. I'm not worth anything more than this. And people can accept crumbs in so many different scenarios. You can accept it in relationships, professionally, socially. And when you accept it in any of those scenarios, you're giving that signal to the universe and also to your subconscious mind to say, this is all I can get. I don't deserve any more. And that is lowering your self-concept. I'm sure we all probably know someone, if it hasn't happened to you, where you've been in a relationship and you know you deserve more, but at that moment you're probably not feeling that great about yourself, or you're probably thinking, oh, if I break up with this person, who else could I be with? How many times have you known that scenario either happen to yourself or happen to someone that you know? But when you think about it, that's such a limited mindset, because if you hold on to that idea and you believe that idea, you're selling yourself so short. It can be the same in the workplace. You know, you can have people in a place of work who are taken for granted or they're not treated well. And instead of that person getting up and thinking, do you know what, I'm worth more than this, I'm going to find something where I'm respected, they stay in that environment because they think, oh, if I did leave, would I really be able to get another job? Is my skill set really as good as what I think it is? And that's lowering your self-concept. So you need to stop accepting crumbs and give that signal to the universe that I know I am worthy of much more than what I'm getting right now. The third behavior that you're probably doing when you have a low self-concept is actually undervaluing yourself, whether that be your skills or your talents. And that can come in so many different forms. It's similar to what I just said about being in the workplace. If you're in a workplace where you're getting treated poorly, instead of you looking and thinking, you know what, I actually have all these skills and I could go elsewhere with this and I could be valued, you'd sit there and think, do I really have these skills? Would anybody really hire me? And this ties into this third behaviour of undervaluing your talents and your skills. You do have it, otherwise you wouldn't be in the job you're in now. And you probably even have much more skills than what you're actually giving yourself credit for. But when you downplay what you're worth and you downplay your skills, you're just giving that signal off again that I am not worthy. The other way that this can come about is by dismissing even compliments. And I've been guilty of that in the past. You might get a genuine compliment from someone. They might say, oh, I like your hair, or I like what you're wearing today. And you just dismiss it. I used to do it at one time. I used to go, it's nothing. Oh, it's just an old dress. Or, oh, I've had these shoes ages ago. And then I realised to myself, why am I doing this? This is not good. That person didn't have to give me that compliment. They took it upon themselves to give it to me. And I'm going to actually receive it. And that's what I started doing. I promised myself that whenever I got a compliment, I was going to take it and I was going to receive it and I was going to thank them for it, because they didn't have to tell me. So I'm saying that to you. Look at where you do that. Look at where you undervalue yourself and start working on that. Give that signal that you are worthy, and that helps you to raise your self-concept. The fourth behaviour that you'll often do when you've got a low self-concept is actually being overly grateful for the bare minimum. Now, don't get me wrong, you should be grateful for things that come into your life and the nice things that people do for you. But when it's bare minimum, Like you're getting like the bare minimum level of respect, and you're acting all shocked like, oh, they've spoken to me in a nice way, or they've treated me in a respectful way. You're thinking, why do you think that low of yourself? Why do you think that that is something that is so surprising or so out there that you need to be overly grateful for it? That should just be a standard for you. You should be expecting people to treat you with respect. So now that I've given you those 4 behaviours that you often see when you have a low self-concept and you need to improve that, I want to now talk to you about some of the things you can do practically to improve your self-concept so that you can achieve all of those New Year resolutions in 2026 and beyond. So the first thing is you need to shift your identity. The message that I've been giving you throughout this video is that you will only manifest what is in line with your self-identity. So right now you need to start identifying as that person who doesn't do those 4 behaviors that I've just told you about. So whenever you catch yourself doing one of those behaviors, you need to stop in that moment and you need to say to yourself, no, this is not me. That's the old me. And then you do the new behavior straight away. And as you do that consistently, it will become second nature for you. And I'll tell you now, you will find that it will take a little bit of practice, and you're still probably most likely going to find yourself still doing some of those behaviors from time to time. You need to give yourself a chance to overcome that. But you need to become aware, so self-aware that you either catch yourself before you're about to do that particular behaviour, or if you do carry on and it does happen, you realise it afterwards and you don't beat yourself up about it. You make a note of it and you get ready for the next time. And that way you'll slowly start making the change of coming up with a new identity. In 2026 and beyond, to get those New Year resolutions and to build that new self-concept, you need to recognize that negative self-talk. And sometimes we think of change being these massive big events, and sometimes it's the small things that make all the difference. If you think about it, how many times are you having a conversation in your head during the day? It's a lot, and there's probably a lot of negativity that goes on in your head. So I need you to start catching yourself. When you hear that negative self-talk coming in, you need to stop. Sometimes you might have to physically say stop, but what you can also do is just reframe that. So if you're saying, oh, you know what, that person's just asked me to do something, but I don't want to do it. Oh, I'm going to have to apologise. You can say to yourself, no, I don't have to actually. I can just let them know that that particular thing is not going to work for me. So become aware of the self-chatter that's going on in your head. Because at the end of the day, you can't run away from yourself. You're taking your mind wherever you go. So treat your mind and your self-talk like a toddler that you need to discipline, and don't just let it run away with you, because it will. Trust me, it will. You're going to be making a new change in 2026. That's so significant because you're turning over a new leaf, and it's really important to recognize that and just celebrate it. Celebrate the little changes that you make in whatever way works best for you, whether it's journaling, whether it's telling someone close to you. You ask yourself what works for you. I love journaling personally. So for me, even with my own journey of going through this process of changing my self-concept and knowing that I deserve more than what I was getting in many different areas of my life, journaling was just nice to really write down, and at the end of each day just reflect on the changes that I've made. So don't forget to celebrate those wins. And another tip to help you build up your 2026 New Year goals and resolutions is actually be clear on the person that you're wanting to become. Don't just start rambling along not knowing who it is that you want to become. Who is the new you? What does that person do? What do they tolerate? What are some of the changes that you want to make? It's a brand new year, and it's a massive opportunity now to just be somebody new. When you're clear on who it is that you want to become, the most important time in terms of manifestation in your subconscious mind is the few moments just before you fall asleep, because the door, so to speak, is open to the subconscious mind, and your subconscious has no clue whether what you're visualizing is literally happening in the here and now in terms of reality, or whether it's a visualized act. So use that to your advantage. Be completely clear on who it is you're wanting to become as the new you. And just before you sleep, just visualize a scene showing what you would be doing as the new version of you. So, for example, if you're a person that accepts crumbs in your relationships and you're now saying, my new year goal is I'm going to find a loving relationship where I'm happy and we cherish each other and we love each other and they're consistent and we're building a future together. Visualize before you go to bed that version of you. You can pick one scene that you think would be happening when that manifestation comes, and it'll become so real for you, and you're then programming your subconscious mind. This is the new version of me that doesn't accept crumbs and is in a beautiful, fulfilling, loving relationship. So you can have a bit of fun with it, but just make it real and realistic to how you would feel if you were in that particular relationship. So you can build that self-concept by training your subconscious mind to feel those beautiful feelings of the desire before it's even arrived. And trust me, if you do that and you build up your self-concept, it won't be long in 2026 before you see that manifestation arrive for you. So comment down below and let me know what you're going to be changing and what your resolutions are going to be as you move forward. And don't forget, make sure you subscribe if you like the channel. Also drop a like on the video and check out the description box, and I'll see you in the next video.